today is going to be with artist Barnaby Blue, going out. The artist's name BarnaBEBOP. So definitely it's called plant based, and it's going to be December 5th is the opening alongside Alex Richardson's. Alex Richardson's is a Plated Memories is the title of that exhibition, which will be illustrations of food and very really delicious or surreal illustrations of food. So it's going to be interesting. But Barnaby explained to me that a lot of the work in their show is plant based or nature based in general, not just plants, but a lot of plants are involved. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take you to that interview, and you guys, I hope you enjoy. And remember, at some point during it, I will have a short commercial break, and then we'll get right back into the rest of the interview. All right, guys, enjoy. Let's see. Hello, this is Arclatex Artistry, and I'm Brittany Hazelton. And in this podcast, we explore the arts in our area. And today's guest is a talented artist that is talented in multiple mediums, and we'll be holding an upcoming exhibition. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Barnaby Blue, and I'm an artist here in Shreveport.
All right, so Barnaby, what is the title of your exhibition?
It's called Plant Based, and I chose that title because every piece in the show has a bit of nature imagery in it.
That's cool.
So most of it is like plants and florals and things like that, but there's some like weather elements and then some bug pieces as well.
So very
yeah.
nature based.
Mm-hmm.
So where is it being held?
It's going to be at Bossier Arts Council. It goes up December 2nd, and then the reception will be December 5th, starting at 6 p.m.
All right. So, I'm curious. So, do you have a passion for nature and plants and things of that sort?
You know, I always feel really healed when I am in nature, but I don't go touch grass enough. I really should go touch it more. But I always have loved flower imagery in artwork, especially because there's all this symbology that goes along with it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really nice to tap into that and add that hidden meaning into my work.
Yeah, I personally love flowers too.
Yeah.
Like I try to paint them when I can. My husband, he does a lot of flower photography.
That's really cool.
So sometimes we'll go out and just get real close to them. I like the Georgia O'Keeffe closeness sometimes.
I do too, yeah.
I notice you do a lot of characters in your work. Are the characters often related to nature themselves, or are they?
I've always been drawn to stylized cartoon characters. I mean, I started watching cartoons from like very young age, I guess, as most people do. But that passion in me never died, and I've always it's been a big inspiration for me.
Yeah.
And so, and I think it's a really good way to get people to connect with the artwork, to see a person in it, but also to kind of convey like weird idiosyncrasies in each design too. Because if you look, there's always some little detail that I'm adding that kind of conveys the message I'm trying to go for in the piece. So.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So what do you hope viewers feel when they see your exhibition?
I kind of just want them to feel a lot of whatever piece makes them feel. The art show has been a lot of me processing my early 20s, just because it was kind of a nightmare. And I went through a lot of things people shouldn't have to go through. But I'm trying to find the beauty and whimsy in that as well.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm hoping that, you know, there's one piece that was based on a panic attack I had. And I think you can feel that chaoticness in that piece, but I think there's also, like, such fun, bright colors happening, too, and such fun elements going on that it makes you feel, like, kind of hopeful as well.
Yeah. You know, I feel like sometimes being an artist and exposing your emotions and how you feel and things you've gone through can help other people too. You know, someone that might be going through the same thing and it's kind of saying, hey, it's going to be okay. I survived it. You know, that kind of message can really be impactful to people.
Right, yeah.
And I hope that, you know, someone gets that feeling. I think as artists, we all feel, we want that. We want someone to feel something. And sometimes it's different for some artists. Some artists are like, I hope they hate it. You know, some artists are like, I hope they love it. Well, you know, I think we all hope that we can help somebody some way.
That's what I hope to do too. And like, yeah, there is a lot of like pieces that are based on like visceral things that I went through, but it's also kind of like I want you to feel the whimsy of it too. You know what I mean? Because like life is what we make of it, and I want there to be more like love and care and whimsy in the world, and so I strive to do that with my work.
I think for me personally, I think that I went through a lot myself, you know, through a lot of my life, and you know, I've just come to this point in my life where I think it's experiences in life that develop who we are as a person.
Absolutely.
Even the bad. And at this point, it's kind of like, I'll just kind of treat it like it was a nightmare.
Right.
Because, like, even to me, nightmares are just kind of like a story that I lived through. You know what I mean?
And it's also kind of like, if there's no bad happening, then how can you tell how good the good is, you know?
Yeah.
You kind of need the contrast to be able to tell.
Exactly.
Like, to enjoy the good moments. So.
And also, you know, it helps you prepare for when things do happen. And I think it also sets you up to be able to give that advice to like, look, this is the experience that you could go through. You have to be careful, you know, how you can portray that to other people. And like, or I think as bad as it sounds, like they say, pain makes the artist. Well, I think all people are a little traumatized, honestly. And I think we're just able to, when we live it, we're able to portray it to the world, you know?
Yeah.
So what kind of mediums do you work in for this show and otherwise?
So in my professional career, I've done mostly digital art. I really gravitated towards that when I was in middle school and high school, and I think it's because of I have this innate perfectionism in me, and the way digital art works is like it's so kind in that regard. You can like touch up every little pixel if you want to.
Yeah.
And so for this show, there are quite a few digital pieces, but I really wanted to go back to like my fine arts roots, and get my hands dirty again, so to speak. Because I kind of wanted that perfectionism in me to die, because it was hurting my career at some point. Like, it was hard to make art.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, if it's not going to be perfect, how could I do it? But learning the power of good enough and letting the physical medium that I'm working in kind of do its own thing and be messy in the way that it's meant to be messy has been really healing in a way.
I feel like perfectionism and that need to make something perfect in our eyes, you know, can be very handicapping.
Yes.
I've known several people who were great artists, but they'll only like paint or do one thing a year because they're just so worried about it not being perfect. And it's like, you know, I try to tell those people, I'm like, look, you got to just keep creating. You're going to make mistakes. That's going to happen. But it's like lessons. You have to just, you innately build the lesson in your mind of how to avoid that. But you got to actually keep the process going, you know?
Yeah, and there's actually been quite a few pieces where, like a couple of my pieces are acrylic paintings. And there are many times where, like, taking a saying from elementary school, I turned a whoops into a wow, and, like, it took a completely different life than it meant to, but, like, that's how that piece was meant to be, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, just learning to trust the process and trust myself during the process.
Yeah. Trust your subconscious that it's doing what it wants, and you just kind of got to let it guide itself.
Yeah,
know?
And there's so many times where, like, I literally just had to shut my brain off while I was working, because in the back of my mind I was like, oh, this sucks. Oh, this is going to be bad. This is not looking good. And it's just like, well, you're on the first layer of paint. It's not going to look good.
Yeah.
So just turning my brain off a little bit too helped. So.
Yeah, I definitely have to myself too. You know, put on some like entrancing music and just go and just let my brain just like focus, like I focus on like the music and then the image at the same time, and somewhat like a trance. I think a lot of artists do that
Yeah, like a
though.
fugue state for sure.
Yeah. Do you listen to any kind of music or anything of that sort when you're doing work or?
My go-to is having like YouTube video essays on in the background.
Hmm.
Like I don't know why that makes me focus better, but like, and then I'm also like learning stuff too.
Yeah.
So like now I'm like really cool at parties because I can just like list off a random tidbit because I was listening to something while I was drawing. So
I think I've done that a few times with real crime, and I think luckily I'm in the I went into the field that I went into
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
like, okay, at least I understand how news and crime and all that can work,
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
this field. But yeah, I like watching those things normally, so it's kind of great to learn while you are, and then you might also be inspired
Exactly.
in some way or direction you didn't expect.
Yeah.
That creates something really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what drew you to begin creating art in the very first place?
You know, I was drawing since I could hold a crayon. Like, and you know, I think every kid thinks they're an artist because they are, and I think
Yeah.
a lot of people, kind of lose that at some point. Like, life beats it out of us, the need to create.
Yes.
But I think we're all creative on some level. But
Okay, guys, here's that short commercial break, and then we'll be right back to the show. Yeah, by the way, here's some of the art by Barnaby Blue right here. A very unique style of illustration. You'll get to hear about that in the interview, but Barnaby also works with William Joyce, renowned the Roly Poly Oly illustrator, done plenty of books, and is very popular around here. One of the few artists that works in his studio, so very unique. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do that commercial, and we'll be right back.
I I just always wanted to. I saw other artists that their art like really spoke to me. Like I felt it in my core, and I was like, "Wait, you can do that!" And then just chasing that feeling of "Wait, you can do that," and then implementing their
Yeah.
style into my work, or like however their view of art, or a technique that they use, or you know, just stuff like that. So like it's my art is built on the back of things I love, basically. And I think you can see all the inspirations to me too through it if you like really take it apart.
Yeah, it's the same way with me. For me, I actually did art when I was a kid, and I stopped because people had made fun of me for it.
Oh, that
For
sucks.
because I was drawing making up my own Pokemon-like creatures.
But that's so cool,
And
though.
people thought, oh, when you get into middle school, you'll be childish.
Yeah, I get that.
And so I shut that down, but then I started role playing. So I was still creating things.
Exactly.
And then I wanted to capture my characters. So I started drawing again and
That's
did art
awesome.
again. And that's the thing, you kind of build it off of things that you love and or experiences, I know some artists they really just live in their experiences in life, and that's how they create their art from inspiration,
Yeah.
Do you feel like that you create from your imagination more than real life experiences, or a little of one or the other?
I want to say that my real life experiences kind of inspire my inspiration, for lack of better words. Because I have these moments where an idea just flows through me. I don't know what happens. I have a notes app on my phone that anytime something like that happens, like I have a spark of an idea, I write it down so I can have it for later. And so sometimes it's literally just like one of the pieces in my show is called A Prince's Deathbed, and it is a personified cockroach that I drew into a prince, and he's under like a paper cup in someone's house, and all these bugs are coming to mourn his death because he's gonna die under the paper cup.
Yeah.
And like I can't explain to you where that idea came from of
That's cool,
making
though.
a character out of a cockroach, but that's one of the things of that just spoke to me at some point. So I guess I put enough cockroaches under cups to be like, well, maybe let me empathize with the cockroach. So
yeah, what is his experience if he
yeah.
has those sentient feelings, and what would the other bugs feel?
Exactly, yeah. So it's kind of both. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. Though it's like your imagination. You get the idea from real life, but then your imagination runs with it.
Yeah, it kind of goes nuts, and I can't really explain it. But
becomes more of a illustrated version of that. So what would you say, you said you have some influences in your art. Is there any specific influences that you would like to name or talk about?
So for my childhood, two of my favorite cartoons were SpongeBob and Chowder, and I think that's definitely where a lot of my whimsy comes from. But then I got into anime at a young age too, so that altered my brain chemistry in a way I cannot fathom. But
It affects a lot of us.
oh, it does. But my favorite director of all time is his name is Masaki Yuasa, and every single piece of media that he does has a different style and a different tone, and he always does this crazy foreshortening with his work too. So when I first saw some of the poses from one of his movies, I was like, oh, I have to be that good. And so I just studied his work for a long time, and then got really good at foreshortening because of that. But then even he has such an interesting way of storytelling, and I'm such a big fan of all his work. So he's my North Star, I think.
I think a lot of us have that one artist that really drove us and inspired us. I think mine is Johann Vasquez.
Oh, yes.
Definitely, because I grew up Vaderism, and,
Yes.
and he was Johnny the Homicidal Maniac was technically the first graphic novel I ever picked up.
Oh, yes, it's a good one.
I don't know what drove me to get it. And I don't even remember how I ended. I remember just my grandfather buying it for me because I wanted it, and then I think maybe I saw it on Vampire Freaks, somebody talking about it, and then I ended up reading it and fell in love with his style and his work, and I also love the comedy aspect.
Yes.
The way things are very comedic, the stuff I write now always has kind of a weird comedy that's similar to Johann Vasquez's type of comedy, and
I love that.
And it heavily impacts me in my style too. And so I think we all have that one artist.
For sure.
I also love, of course, classics like Van Gogh.
Of course.
Van Gogh was, I don't know, something about artists and writers that have tragic lives, like Edgar Allan Poe.
Mm-hmm.
He lost so many people he loved to tuberculosis,
Mm-hmm.
but he was such like impactful writer. You know.
The fact that we can create like beauty from the pain is really impactful.
Yeah, it really is, and it really speaks to people like me or you who can, especially if we're going through we've gone through loss or similar things.
Yeah.
So recently, you've been working with William Joyce, right?
Yes.
On his glitter kittens. So can you tell me a little bit about what that experience was like?
Yeah, so that's actually my day job. I've worked with him for 4 years at his studio called HowdyBot. It's he made that after he sold Moonbot, and it's been a much smaller operation. So it's like me and one other artist, and that's it.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy growing up watching Roly Poly Oly and loving it, and then now I work for the guy who made it, and it's very surreal. Definitely a dream job for sure, but working with him, I've done a lot of assistant illustration with him. I've done some concept art for like pitch decks and stuff like that, and then I do animation. So like if you see anything animated on a social media, I probably had a hand in it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and so I did this 4-minute long video for the Glitter Kittens show at Art Space, kind of telling the story, the narrative that's going through the gallery. And then I had help doing all of the like vinyl wrapping on the walls, all the.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was really fun to do. So Bill did the original art, and then I made it like fit what he needed it to.
Yeah.
And then I also branched out into 3D modeling and sculpting and texturing for the show. So like all the little glitter kitten models.
Oh, those are really cool.
And then my coworker Brittany Butcher also helped a lot with the 3D models, like for the rocket puppies.
Did you do? So you did some foam sculpting. It looked like, was that foam that you used?
And so it was actually 3D printing.
Oh wow!
So it was a
really?
3D model that I made in Blender, and then they track 3D printed it. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
And they have this like state of the art printer that prints the texture on it, so it's like a 1-to-1 from what I did in Blender, which is crazy.
That is really crazy.
Yeah.
3D printing can be a really useful tool, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially for, I do a little resin printing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun stuff, but like, that's really cool. I'm glad. It looked like a really cool exhibition. I need to go up and see it.
You should check it out because there's going to be events like all up until like December 26th, I believe. So.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll definitely have to make it up and see that.
Yeah.
I haven't had the chance to ever meet William. I hope to meet him sometime.
He has a book signing. I don't remember the exact date. I think it's the 22nd, but don't quote me on that.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, yeah.
And try to write something up for it, probably.
Yeah.
So, how would people follow your work on social media?
Yeah, so I go by BarnaBEBOP online. That's BarnaBEBOP. I recently rebranded. I used to be C's the Subsea for like 11 years, and then I just recently rebranded since I changed my name as well. So
okay.
So it just felt like it was time. But yeah, that's where you find me online.
All right, that's awesome. Is there anything else that you would like to say to our viewers before we go?
Just create. It doesn't have to be good at first. Just make stuff.
I do have one more question.
Oh, sure, yeah.
What advice would you give to an artist looking to develop their own style?
Okay. So I really struggled with this when I was younger, where I felt like I had to find my style.
Yeah.
And I feel like I found it the second I stopped worrying about it. Some of the things that helped me were learning my fundamentals, because I feel like you have to learn the rules before you can break them.
You need a foundation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Draw every day, even if it's just like a little doodle on a note card. That counts. And then third, always keep experimenting. I think when you stop trying to change what you're doing, that's when you stagnate. And so if you ever feel the need to say, well, that's just how I render this thing, that's just how I draw eyes, that's just how the bodies I draw look. No, experiment, and then you might find something you love doing. So
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Barnaby, for stopping in and talking to me.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. I'm glad I finally got you on my show
I
because
know.
I
I've been
know
wanting
I've
to
been
be
like
here.
every time I would run into you, I'm like, we have to have an interview
I
every
know.
time.
I know.
So I'm really glad I got to talk to you
Yeah,
finally.
ditto. It's really cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much again. And if you have any other big exhibitions or anything coming up, let me know. Maybe we can have another chat about it.
I would love that. Thank you.
All right. All right, guys. That was my interview with Barnaby Blue. Um, Recently rebranded from Subsea, and definitely gotta check them out. You can find them on Facebook, BarnaBEBOP. And yeah, give them a follow, support them. We want to support our local artists as best we can. Also, guys, you can follow me on Facebook as well. If you look up Brittany Hazelton, RSYSICA, that's Sizica. You look up that, and you'll be able to find my profile right here. I post art experiences, food experiences, and I post my own art, of course, and I share art events and stuff like that that's happening in our area. You can find more of my stuff on for Architects Artistry on KSLA.com under the podcast section and Architects Artistry. And there I have my full length interviews, and you can find also the articles that for each interview, where I also usually have pictures and other additional information in those articles that you can check out, especially if you're interested in an artist. You can find also on our KSLA.com or KSLA's YouTube page. You can find the Architects Artistry playlist there. You can find more content for KSLA on the Roku, Apple, and Apple TV and Android TV, all those different apps. So, guys, remember, support your local artists, get involved, go to these free events, especially if you feel like you have nothing to do. Check out one of these exhibitions. They're always free to attend. A lot of times they have free snacks and food that you can eat while you're there, drinks, and you can get connected and meet other, really cool talents that we have in our area. All right, guys. So the second interview that's going to be happening this Saturday is involving the second artist, who is actually a very close friend of mine. He is also the marketing coordinator for Boja Arts Council. So keep an eye out for that interview with Alex Richardson Saturday at noon. All right, guys. I'll be publishing this article, and so keep an eye out for that article's Facebook post. All right. Bye, guys.